the governance of the country, especially in the effectiveness of that arm of government?
Let me tell you. First, what I said, I wish could be put on record and played back 4 years from today. When Tambuwal emerged as the speaker, there was an antecedent that the APC could learn from. They had seen far, projected far, but we kept looking at the present. Tambuwal emerged. The party should have gone back and said, what's going on? 5 governors left you. They said, good riddance to bad rubbish. The party should have said, what's going on? Ultimately, the real game plan played out at the end. It has started again. And we say, well, it's normal process. No, what I expected the APC to do as a party is to go back home and say, this thing happened to PDP, where did it lead? As it has started now, where is it leading? How can we forestall? How can we be on top of the game instead of playing catch-up? What we do in politics here is we play catch-up all the time. But there are some real, game masters who know how to plot the game. And I'm coming here to look from a bird's eye view, not inside the water, but above the waters, and try to plot where it's coming from and where it's going. Now, when you look at the way things are right now, unless APC is able to very quickly put its act together and ask themselves, what do these people want? When they're able to answer that question, they will be able to put in place processes that will help the party develop an ideology, develop an identity, address certain problems. When my brother started talking, he talked in terms of internal democracy. You see, one of the things we had expected as Nigerians was change. And on the very first note on the ground, they've rocked the confidence of Nigerians. It's like same old, same old. And that is not good for the APC. At all, it is not good
because
for the APC.
Some people have said that, APC is just a group of people who have come together just to grab powers from the past administration. Nothing cohesive about the people that have come together. They're not sharing the same vision. Do you agree with this?
Look, I'll take it from the last point he made. Truly, it's a good point that APC must learn from what has happened. This happened during Tambo, and it led to some other events. So, as a party, I think we must be very conscious of what has happened, which is why there's going to be a lot of expectation from the new Senate President, Saraki, because he partnered with the PDP to get to that position. So he owes an obligation to the PDP. But he's an APC party member. And APC has been voted...
He owes an obligation to the PDP, even though he's of the APC.
Because they helped him. I mean, it's natural, it's expected. Unless he's going to immediately turn around and you understand? So, morally, I would say that exists. Now, as a party member, is part of the party that was voted overwhelmingly to power, both at the presidency and majority at the National Assembly. And there's a high expectation of Nigerians for APC to perform. So definitely, he has to tread that very carefully to ensure that he's not seen as an APC member, a PDP member that will disrupt the change that has been voted for, without also creating a situation where he will shoot people who helped him in the back. So what may emerge is a national situation, which is why some people are saying maybe it's even good, because then he has to really manage the two parties to lead us to that process. Now, to answer your other question, look, in every revolution, it takes a motley of people to come together. That in itself is not bad, because all the people that have come together are at least have a common denominator, which is they want to be progressive. They are unhappy with what has been happening in this country for 16 years. And that is enough to bind them together. But like my friend said, there is going to be time, learning process, integration process. This era we are, there are still some individual interests that need to be satisfied because of the collection of people that came. But once we progress beyond this, I believe it's going to be okay.
Hold on, Mr. Wonder, let me bring you in here. Yeah. I'll take you back again to the process that brought up Senator Saraki and the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Yeah. Now, there are some who say that the House, the House generally here now, was not properly constituted. For instance, there's been that argument of, is it what forms a quorum? Now, should the quorum be formed before they are inaugurated, or should that quorum have applied after the inauguration? 2/3, 1/3. What, legally speaking, based on the Constitution and the rules, they have their own internal rules, so to speak, but let's use the Constitution here. What do you think? Were they in order?
Yeah, I think when it comes to sitting on issues that are not too serious, the 1/3 majority is what is really needed for them to convene and take a decision on as the issue relates to the election. And don't forget, there was another, some people have called it a conspiracy, that some members were excluded from the process, because all of them, from what we had gathered from the program of event that was given, they were all meant to be seated together at the National Assembly to conduct that election. But APC leadership chose, to have another event at the International Center, Conference Center at Abuja, where the president was supposed to address them. Now, the question that is that the members that were present at the material time that the election was conducted, we had there up to 1/3 of the entire membership of the House. I think the question is in the affirmative, because even if you watch during the debate, the two factions as they were canvassing, one represented by Dino Melaine, he told the whole world, which is true, that we considered the quorum required to conduct that election. So, but I think the only aspect or the slide that one would say that was not really right was the exclusion. They should have done it in such a way that should have organized the time where all the members, because when they talk about democracy, it not only involves voting, the voting process, declaring somebody a winner. The entire process must be seen to be legal and constitutional. By excluding those people, by not participating in that election, has been a source of concern to a school of thought.
But were they actually excluded? They chose to be somewhere else
from the look of things that they were excluded.
Let me correct something.
That they were excluded.
Yes. Let me correct something, because I had a very lengthy discussion with distinguished Senator Itainan that, everybody knows this man knows his onions. Yeah. Mr. President had transmitted a letter to the National Assembly calling for it and giving it the time, 10 a.m. The moment you do that, which is the constitutional requirement, the power of the National Assembly leaves your hand completely and rests on the clerk of the National Assembly on the next proceedings. And what you have thereafter is what you call the House rules that takes over. So if Mr. President had sent a letter and given time, I think it was a structural error for APC to now hold a meeting so close to that time. They held a 9 o'clock meeting, probably in the understanding that we'll just come here, 10, 20 minutes, Mr. President comes, talks to the people, we realign, and then we move, and we are there for 10 o'clock. It was a good calculation. But within the political equation, these people that were invited to the meeting knew the essence of the meeting.
Okay.
But it had come so close that they knew that they could afford to, play down a little bit. So the party inadvertently walked into the,
walked into a kind of trap.
Exactly.
Well, okay, we've since been joined by a communications consultant, Mr. Fassi, Dr. Fassi Yusuf. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
We had to do a little bit of adjustment.
Oh, it's okay.
Mr. Emero.
Yes.
Did the party walk into a trap?
I'm listening.
Did the APC walk into a kind of trap? Because
a tight corner.
If the president had made that proclamation based on the Constitution, by that letter, fixing 10 o'clock.
Yes.
But was it the president that called for that meeting at 9 o'clock too?